In this video from LearnElectrics, we will look at some very useful and easy calculations. We've often been asked the question, if we know what ZS is, can we calculate the ohms value of R1 and R2? The answer, of course, is yes, and in this video we will show you how with a very simple method. As long as you know certain values, you can work out the rest. There are lots of values that all go into making up ZS, which is called the system earth fault loop impedance, and by using the right numbers we can work out the others. So let's begin. We can recap on just what the various numbers are. You should be familiar with drawings similar to this and the standard formula shown here that states that ZS equals ZE plus R1 plus R2. ZS is made up of ZE, the external part of the installation, and in a domestic setting this will be all the wiring between the consumer unit and the supply transformer, and R1 plus R2, which is each individual circuit's wiring inside the property, between the consumer unit to the point of use, as we said, the internal wiring. And ZS is the whole system, everything. It is ZE plus R1 plus R2, and it is essential that you remember this formula and know how to use it. A quick reminder of radial circuits. In this example that we will use here, the twin and earth cable leaves the consumer unit and goes to each socket. When it gets to the last socket, it stops. This could just as easily be a shower circuit from the consumer unit to the shower and then stopping. Other examples are lighting, cookers, and so on. They all go out to the last point and stop. We can show the three conductors in the twin and earth here, and during a fault we are most interested in line and earth, or the CPC as we should call it. For clarity, we will leave the neutral wire off the following drawings, but just remember that it will be there for normal operation of the circuit. The resistance measurement of the brown or line wire from the consumer unit to the furthest point and all the points in between is called little r1, and the resistance of the CPC wire is called little r2. It is very important that we make this distinction clear. They are called little r1 and little r2. In a radial circuit, big R1 plus big R2 is the same ohms value as little r1 added to little r2. Usually, for big R1 and R2, we just say R1 plus R2. So, R1 plus R2 is from the consumer unit all the way to the furthest point on the brown line wire, and then back to the consumer unit along the green CPC wire, or bare copper, or green and yellow. You get the idea. Looking at a ring circuit, however, things are a little different. The circuit conductors form a ring. The brown line wire, called little r1, leaves the consumer unit at point 1 here and travels to all the sockets, and then the same brown line wire returns to the consumer unit at point 2. The CPC, or little r2 wire, leaves the consumer unit at point 1 and returns back to the consumer unit at point 2, and likewise with the neutral wire. But this time, R1 plus R2 is not the same as little r1 and little r2. R1 plus R2 is the addition of little r1 and little r2, and then that number is divided by 4. It is a different number, a different calculation. Now we can have a quick look at ZS. What can we do with the ZS equation? ZS is ZE plus R1 plus R2. So if we add the external parts to the internal part, we will have the ohms value for the whole system. To find ZE, subtract the ohms value of R1 plus R2 from ZS. And to find R1 plus R2, do the other option, subtract ZE from ZS. If we know any two of ZS, ZE, or R1 plus R2, then we can calculate the third. Now we can set about calculating little r1 and little r2. The values of little r1 and little r2 can be calculated by using the ratios of the cross-sectional areas of the conductors. For a twin-and-earth cable where all the conductors are about the same length, the line conductor usually has the bigger CSA and will have the smaller resistance, and the earth or CPC usually has a smaller CSA and the greater resistance. We can show this best with an example. In this case, a 2.5 1.5 twin-and-earth cable. The line is 2.5 millimeters, and we can say it is made up of 5 halves. 5 halves make 2.5. And the earth is 1.5 and is made up of 3 halves. 3 halves being 1.5. If we add together 5 plus 3, we will have 8 halves. So now, how are we going to divide these up to be useful to us? Look at this drawing. The line is on the left with 5/2 for 5 halves, and earth or CPC on the right, 3/2 or 3 halves. Now, add the number of halves, the 5 and 3 together, to get the number 8. Now we can calculate the ratio of the resistances. On the left hand side for the line, write down the 3 that's come from the earth side. And below this, write the total number of halves, which is 8. Then, on the right hand side for the earth, write down the 5 from the line side, and below that, the number 8 again. And that is the ratios worked out. On the left, the bigger conductor, 5/2, has the smallest resistance, 3/8 or 3/8. And on the right, the smaller sized earth has a size of 3/2, but a bigger resistance of 5/8 or 5/8. And we will do something with these numbers very shortly. Now let's do the same thing with a different size cable. This time 4mm twin-and-earth with a 2.5mm earth or CPC. 4mm line has 8 halves or 8/2. 2.5mm earth has 5 halves, so 5/2. Now add 8 halves and 5 halves to give us 13. On the left side, put the 5 from the earth side with the number 13 below. On the right, we put the 8 from the line side with 13 below. The line is the biggest conductor with the smallest resistance, and the earth is the smallest conductor with the biggest resistance. It could not be simpler. What we've done now is to put all these ratios into a table. On the following table, we've converted all the fractions to decimals to make it quicker and easier to put into the calculator. For example, 2.5 1.5 twin-and-earth is 3/8 and 5/8, which converts to 0.375 and 0.625 respectively. For radial circuits, to find little r1 and little r2, multiply r1 plus r2 by the numbers shown for that size twin-and-earth. But to find little r1 and little r2 for ring circuits, we must first multiply r1 plus r2 by 4, and then by the numbers shown for that size twin-and-earth in the tables. And that is about as difficult as it gets. It's a very easy calculation. Here is the table of ratios, and this should be self-explanatory. We will also leave a printable PDF of this table on our website, LearnElectrics.com. At the website homepage, enter P116 to access the PDF. These instructions will also be repeated in the description to this video. Let's do a worked example for a radial circuit and for a ring circuit. Assume we have a radial circuit wired in twin-and-earth cable 2.5 1.5. We have a measured ZS of 1.05 ohms and ZE at 0.25 ohms. To find R1 plus R2, we should start by subtracting ZE from ZS. And the answer is R1 plus R2 equals 1.05 minus 0.25, which is 0.8 ohms. That's the first part done. To find R1, the line resistance, multiply R1 plus R2 by 0.375 from the table. We have 0.8 times 0.375, which is 0.3 ohms. And to find R2, the CPC resistance, multiply R1 plus R2 by 0.625, also from the table. This will give us 0.8 times 0.625, which is 0.5 ohms. Job done. Little r1, the bigger wire, has the smaller resistance at 0.3 ohms. And little r2, the smaller conductor, has the bigger resistance at 0.5 ohms. Now we know the resistance of the individual circuit conductors. Now the ring circuit example. We will stay with 2.5, 1.5 twin and earth, and the ZS this time will be 1.08 ohms and ZE is 0.2 ohms. ZS minus ZE will give us R1 plus R2. So 1.08 minus 0.2 equals 0.88 ohms. This is a ring circuit, so multiply 0.88 by 4 and we have 3.52 ohms. And now, for little r1, we can multiply 3.52 by 0.375 for an answer of 1.32 ohms. The little r2 value is 3.52 multiplied by 0.625, which is 2.2 ohms. And that is the answer. Little r1 is 1.32 ohms and little r2 is 2.2 ohms. These are the resistances of the circuit's conductors. And that is all that there is to it. Use the equation ZS equals ZE plus R1 plus R2 to find R1 plus R2. Use the table to find the ratio factors for the size of cable being used, and then for a radial circuit multiply R1 plus R2 by the ratios given to find little r1 and little r2. Whilst for a ring circuit, first multiply R1 plus R2 by 4 and then use the ratios in the table to find little r1 and little r2. Practice makes perfect. Try a few examples of your own, and we hope that you've added some more knowledge to your mental toolbox. Thank you for watching this video. It is very much appreciated. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. Here are some tips on getting even more information and help out of LearnElectrics.com. On your web browser, enter LearnElectrics.com into the search bar, select LearnElectrics.com from the choices offered, and the website, as shown, will open up for you. You now have a couple of choices. You can search for a help item or any video by entering a keyword into the search bar on the right. Click on Return and all the help files and videos with that word in the title will be listed for you. They will be shown with a short description. Click on Continue Reading for more information. Each video listed will have a link shown that will take you directly to that exact YouTube video. Or you can browse through a list of all the available items and videos. To do this, click on the LE logo on the top left of the home page and all our items and videos will be shown. There will be 10 items shown on each page, and at the bottom of each page is a page selector. Page 2, 3, 4 and so on that will bring up the next 10 items or videos on the list. And don't forget that you can also type in LearnElectrics, all one word, into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer. We are constantly adding new videos to our channel. Don't miss the next one. Once again, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.